good to get back to work. Before we got to the field, I thought what we did this morning was probably one of the most significant exercises in team development, an opportunity to analyze our in-stadium tape, to make some acknowledgments and some corrections, to learn from the things that we've done and just gain an experience associated with combing through it. We took our time this morning and devoted our time completely to that. And this afternoon we came back out here and got back in a Steelers versus Steelers training camp-like mentality. We'll use the lessons learned in stadium as our guide as we get better, and I just think it's appropriate to do so. You know, I thought our 2-minute was not where it needed to be offensively and defensively at the end of the half the other night. And so as you can see in team today, we plugged in another 2-minute segment. And I think that's what you do during team development. You have a hardcore plan, but you also remain light on your feet for the unforeseen, for what the group might need in an effort to keep the train moving. Excited about that component. From an injury standpoint, Boykins has got a rib. Miles Boykins has got a rib. Could be described as day-to-day. Carl Joseph's got a foot that's being evaluated. It's probably beyond day-to-day. And nothing new to add other than what I acknowledged after the game or prior to. I'll pause and take questions.
Mike, from your tape, what did you see about the offensive line that you liked or maybe need to work on?
You know, I thought we played with good energy. I think we're still growing from a cohesion perspective. I thought we gave up too many hits on the quarterback. And some of it's cohesion. Some of it is, you know, guys physically getting beat. But I want a cleaner pocket for our quarterbacks, and what I saw, I think that's the standard. But there was a lot of good things, but that's something that we're going to be uncompromising regarding. Our goal is to keep our quarterbacks as clean as possible, and we could have done a better job, even for a first time out. And that's acknowledging how we practice out here isn't necessarily how you practice in game in terms of the pocket. There's certain professionalism that you do in practice settings. We encourage defenders and rushers to stay away from the quarterback, and specifically as arm action. So oftentimes it'll take the offensive line group a while, if you will, to warm up to in-stadium action from a strain standpoint. And so it's reasonable to expect those guys to be better in that regard, and that's our goal. That'll be our mindset as we work this week.
How do you think the quarterbacks responded to that Saturday night? Obviously that wasn't one of Ben's strong suits by the end of it. But
In terms of what?
When that pocket wasn't clean or they had to face rushers.
You know, I don't think that they blinked any of them in the face of whether it was pressure or some of the challenges of coverages. I thought the quarterbacks did a good job in the football game.
Mike, when you were going through the tape, you alluded to what you saw 2 minutes on both sides of the ball. What else defensively did you notice that left out at you?
You know, we got to have better gap integrity, but we talked about that after the game. We won't grade on the curve based on who's available, who's playing. The 11 on the field represent us. There's standards that we live by, and we weren't strong enough, particularly against the run. We didn't tee up our situational ball well enough because we were weak against the run at times in game.
When it comes to divvying up the reps out here, how much do you weigh one preseason in-stadium opportunity versus, 3 weeks of practice now for the team?
It's weighted more heavily, certainly, because of some of the things we mentioned, the live pocket being a major component of it and so forth. So make no mistake about it, the in-stadium action is significant in the evaluation process.
Do you consider what Spillane and Bush are doing right now competing for one spot, or do you expect both of those guys to earn some type of role with the regular defense?
I would imagine that both guys are varsity in their abilities, and so that there's going to be a role for them. But make no mistake, there's a competition component to what's transpiring here in terms of dividing the labor up, for sure.
Mike, how did you think those guys did in coverage on Saturday night?
I thought they could be a lot better, and that'll be my expectation this week.
Anyone else? You guys have some fun watching that hit at the end of the game by Davis?
I didn't watch that with the collective.
All right.
Thanks.